What's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy, Numbers Fan Jay. Y'all know what it is, man. You see I got the jersey on. That must mean that my boys got the dub. Yes, sir. So, we're going to start off with the news as always. Week 8 is almost complete. So, of course, the biggest news right now is the trade deadline. It's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. The Dolphins have already traded Kenyon Drake to the Cardinals. The Jets have already traded Leonard Williams to the Giants. Of course, we know the Emmanuel Sanders trade happened last week. He got to play. He got to make a few plays for the 49ers, including catching a touchdown on the opening possession. So, big news about that. J.J. Watt has torn his pectoral muscle and he is out for the season. Huge loss for the Texans in a win. That's got to be one of the worst things for any franchise to hear, is that your franchise player is out for the year and you still won the game. Like, it's a bittersweet. It takes away the joy of winning when your best player gets hurt. Like, that's crushing. Sorry for the Texans fans. J.J. Watt led the league in quarterback hits up until this point, so we know the type of impact he can make. We know the type of impact he can make. He was once in the MVP conversation. That's how great of a player he is. For a defensive player to be in the MVP conversation is absolutely phenomenal. But anyway, into Victory Monday, baby. It's time to get into some analysis. I had my best week this week. This week I was 12-2 in my picks. Assuming that the Steelers will win tonight's game, I will be 13-2, which will be my best record of picks this far this season. But with no further ado, let's get into the analysis. So Redskins and Vikings. We picked the Vikings. We got that one right. It was pretty one-sided. The Vikings ran for 161 yards. 285 yards passing. Stephon Diggs had 143 yards. With Adam Thielen out this game, he did fumble in the beginning of the game, but the Redskins didn't really do anything with it. So Vikings got that win 19-9, very one-sided. Broncos at Colts. We picked the Colts. This game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. The Broncos, same story. Defense playing good, offense not doing anything with the ball. Game is close. Same story. They lose at the end by a field goal again. And this has been the story for this team all year. Don't know how much longer this defense is going to try to play lights out, knowing that the offense is not going to score any points. Usually the defense will be like, all right, maybe we need to score points. But with them falling to 2-5, doesn't help anything. But we'll see. Colts got the win. We picked the Colts. They held the Colts under 330 yards of total offense and just one touchdown. So that just gives you kind of an idea of what type of game they had. The Buccaneers at the Titans. The defense came up clutch in this game for the Titans. I told y'all, 4th-ranked scoring defense versus 4th-ranked scoring offense. This is why I picked the defense. This is exactly why. They came up clutch twice. Once on 4th down, they made a stop, similar to what they did against the Chargers last week. Short yardage situation. D-line got the push. Linebackers got in the space to stop the running back from getting through. They also got a pick to seal the game at the end. But the big thing about this game was a terrible dead ball call. And I'm sorry, it was just a terrible call that wiped points off the board for the Bucs. So they go for it on 4th down. They try a little trick play. I guess that's either the hold. I think that's the holder that's running out. Tries to run for the 1st down. Clearly fumbles the ball as soon as he hit. The ball just bounces down to the ground. Buccaneers defender picks it up, takes off, but the ref blows the play dead for whatever reason. I don't understand why the play was blown dead. The ball was clearly out way before he hit the ground. And when he gets to the ground, actually not even, I think it was blown dead before he even hit the ground. Like, the ref was so ready to call the play dead because he wasn't at the sticks. He wasn't even anywhere close to getting the first down. But just a bad call. They wiped away points that would have put the Buccaneers in the lead. They lost this game, one possession game. Definitely had an impact on both teams. So it is what it is, though. The Titans pulled out another win. More clutch defense. They continue to get it done with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Cardinals at Saints. Drew Brees came back. We picked the Saints. Of course, they're the better team here. Drew Brees, 34-43, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. The Saints are now 4-0 at home, unbeatable, unfreaking beatable at home. There's not much to say here. They did what they're supposed to do. They handle business. Moving on, Bengals at Rams. Pick the Rams here. Cooper Kupp had a day, 220 receiving yards. Awesome. Thank you for the fantasy points, man. You got me like 35 fantasy points in my league. It was awesome. I was blown away because I played against a guy that had Mike Evans, and he had 200 receiving yards. So I'm like, how do both of them have all these points? Because at the time, I was watching my game, and I was watching the next game came on. I was watching the Panthers 49ers game for a while. But anyway, the Rams snap a 3-game losing streak to the Bengals. They get their first win against the Bengals in Los Angeles. So that's good. Next game, Jets at Jaguars. I picked the Jets. This was one of my upset picks of the year. Sam Darnold threw only 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Le'Veon Bell was held all the way down. Like, he was locked down. Just 35 total yards. 8 sacks allowed for this Jets offensive line, just looking terrible. I believe this loss ends their season early. Jets are just in a terrible place. If they didn't lose Sam Darnold in game 1 and CJ Mosley, I don't think they would have this many losses. Very disappointing team this year. But it is what it is. Jaguars got the win at home. Giants at Lions. We talked about the Giants' turnover differential being terrible. They actually won this turnover differential +1. So they turned it over once, but the Lions turned it over twice. They won the turnover differential, but they never recovered from a 14-0 deficit in the first quarter. And that's just what it is. They were fighting to get back into the game all game, and they never got control of it, in my opinion. So the Lions won that one. We did pick them. Eagles at Bills. Got this one wrong. I picked the Bills, but the Eagles are just so unpredictable. Like, they play bad in the first couple games. Then they beat the Packers, and everybody's like, yeah, they can do it. And then they start losing again. And you're just like, what are we talking about here? Like, what? This is maybe the most unpredictable team in football. Not even going to lie. No cap. No cap. We talked about them needing to score more than 20. They did. They scored 31. So they ran for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns. So that was a lot of people talking about, a lot of analysts are talking about how well they played defensively. I'm talking about the 218 yards they put up on the ground. Like, forget everything else. If they can run the ball like this, this team, that's a different team. That's a totally different team. They've been trying to run the offense through Carson Wentz. He can do it. He doesn't have to do it, though, if you can run the ball like this. It makes it so much easier to move the ball. Seahawks at Falcons. We picked the Seahawks. The Seahawks are now 4-0 on the road. They nearly blew a 24-0 lead at halftime. The Falcons really surprised everybody with their effort in the second half. Their season has been over for 2 or 3 games now. But they continue to play like they're supposed to. They continue to fight. Atlanta had 3 turnovers this game, and they didn't create any. So that didn't help at all. But that's what you do when you've only won 1 game all year. So Seahawks got the dub there on the road. Panthers at 49ers. We talked about this being a game of the week. This was an absolute blowout. Panthers got manhandled. Whatever you want to call it. The Panthers were not in this game. Um, Before this game, Kyle Allen didn't have any interceptions. He left this game with 3. That's what type of day it was. The Panthers just didn't show up. Just being honest. That's not taking credit away from the 49ers. The Panthers gave up 55 points. You got to give the 49ers credit, but at the same time, this team hasn't played this bad all year. This is not the team that won 4 games in a row. This is not that team. But the 49ers prove yet again that they're the top team in the NFC. So they ended the game 7 sacks, 3 interceptions, and they got the dub. Chargers at Bears. The Chargers defense won on third down. We talked about third down percentage on the offensive side, but on third down, defensively, the Chargers were the second worst team coming into this game on third down, allowing their opponent to convert for, I believe, 50% of the time. But they only allowed 35% conversion rate this game. In a sloppy game overall, we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't pass the ball. It just... and it's not that we couldn't pass the ball. It's that Hunter Henry had a drop. Mike Williams dropped a touchdown. And Keenan Allen dropped a touchdown. So that's 3 different possessions that should have gave us points. Especially, I think the Hunter Henry possession, we had 3, but we should have got 6 on all 3 of those possessions. It should have been a blowout game. We still have yet to put together 60 minutes of quality football. But a win is a win, and a win boosts confidence for everybody on the field because we finally got some luck. We finally got a little bit of luck. We felt like this season was just full of bad luck, whether it be injuries, whether it be kicking, whether it be fumbling, turnovers in the red zone. Like, it is what it is. But we got the dub, man. We got the dub. Shout out my man Hoodie. I don't know what y'all gonna do. Lost, what was that, 3 games in a row? But I mean, y'all will be all right, man. Y'all will be all right. Browns at Patriots, exactly what we thought it was going to be. Bill Belichick gets his 300th career win. There are pictures floating around of him at a bowling alley, if you catch the drift. The Browns are now 2-5, one of the most disappointing teams in the league. The Patriots offense still does not look very impressive. Like, I'm just being honest. They scored a lot of points off turnovers from the defense. The defense set them up inside the red zone. The defense took one to the house on a fumble recovery. And I don't know. It's just hard to judge. This defense is legit. There's no doubt about it. But this offense is going to have to do something. When it comes to playing the great teams that aren't going to turn it over, then it's going to be a field position battle. And I believe in Tom Brady. I've always believed in Tom Brady. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Patriots still stay undefeated, so nothing to argue about there. Raiders at Texans. The Raiders' defense played terrible. Lamonte knows all about it. He even admitted it himself. That's my guy. 279 passing yards allowed. 3 touchdowns. 130 rushing yards allowed, so they couldn't stop the run or the pass. We talked about how bad their defense has been on the road, allowing 33 points per game. They allowed 27 in this game in Houston. Another L for the Raiders. Packers at Chiefs. Now, this game, Matt Moore played really well, but Aaron Rodgers was just magical. It was just magical. He nearly had a comeback. To be honest, he nearly had a comeback win in this game. Why did I just say that? Packers at Chiefs. Matt Moore played very well, but Aaron Rodgers played better. It's that simple. The Chiefs secondary looked terrible. There were guys just getting beat all over the field. The pass rush was all right. The pass rush for the Chiefs was all right. They got 5 sacks, but this defense created no turnovers, allowed 3 passing touchdowns, 305 yards passing. The LaShawn McCoy fumble was the sole turnover in this game for the Chiefs. With the game tied at 17, turned it over. That led to the magical touchdown pass by Aaron Rodgers. Lamonte likes to call him Houdini. Just incredible, man. Like, what can we say? They were saying we haven't seen anything like Patrick Mahomes, but Aaron Rodgers has been doing this, man. He's been doing this. He's falling backwards off his back foot. Looks like he's throwing it away. He said he wasn't even throwing it to their running back, Jones. He wasn't even throwing it to Jones. He was trying to throw it to Jimmy Graham. Goes over Jimmy Graham's head right into the hands of Jones, who's waiting in the back of the end zone. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Enjoyable game. The game was actually better than I thought it was going to be when I found out Mahomes was not playing. I didn't think Matt Moore was going to play this well. Just being honest. But that is what it is. It's time to flip the M to a dub, baby. You know what's going on. The 3 dubs. Who, what, and why. Who's going to be traded before the deadline tomorrow? Melvin Gordon, Josh Gordon, A.J. Green, Chris Harris Jr. There's a lot of names floating around there in trade rumors. People that are being actively shopped by their current teams. Who's going to be traded? Who do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do the Browns do to turn their season around? Honestly, I don't think it's nothing. I don't think there's anything that they can do. I told you guys that Baker Mayfield was the wild card. That's been true, but what has also been true is that Freddie Kitchens is not a good head coach. It's that simple. This team continues to make boneheaded mistakes, fumbling the ball, bad interception throws on bad play calls, continues to make penalties that are in bad situations, taking points off the board, taking stops off the board for defense. Just terrible, terrible mistakes made by this team that haven't been corrected through 8 weeks. He's had 8 weeks to fix these things, and nothing has seemingly been fixed. So I don't think there's anything they could do. I think they're going to have to let go of their head coach, and they might even have to bring in another quarterback. So why? Why is nobody talking about the Indianapolis Colts? They're 5-2. They are the second best team in the AFC right now. Right now. Nobody's talking about this team. I don't know if it's because they don't have Andrew Luck anymore, but there's always a team that's going to be left out when the conversation comes about who are the greatest teams in the league right now. The Colts are that team this year. They're winning. Everything isn't pretty, but they're winning. They're winning. Player of the week, Drew Brees. You come back and have a game like that. What can you say? Coach of the week, Doug Peterson. You go in Buffalo. People are doubting your team. I'm doubting your team. You're inconsistent. 2 ugly losses. You come in Buffalo. You take the dub like a champ. Coach of the week, Doug Peterson. Steelers versus Dolphins tonight, y'all. Tune in Thursday. Be ready for the double dose again, man. Got to get back into those division predictions as well as the week 9 predictions on Thursday. Thank y'all for watching. Drop a like, drop a comment. Y'all know what to do. It's your boy, Jay. We out of here.